Welcome to Wrestling Over Everybody. Welcome to Wrestling Over Everything, everybody. We are a very funny wrestling podcast out of the Central Valley of California. I'm Andrew. That's Dusty.
Ho hey.
All right.
Yeah.
I messed up the intro, and Dusty's making fun of me. I was going to cut that out.
I'm not making fun of you.
All right.
Give me. All right. No, pitch it back to me.
We're going to keep it going.
I'm
Andrew. That's Dusty.
Hey.
There he is.
People
pay to see the hey. It's like when the singer puts the microphone towards everybody, the most important part of the song. Like if Tom DeLonge made the whole crowd sing the "Where Are You" part, people would throw tomatoes at him. You know?
Right? Yeah. Like when if I go see Taking Back Sunday, I want to see the dude wrap the microphone around his neck.
Yeah,
if he doesn't do that.
God, is he bad life? But he does the microphone thing. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe, leave us a comment, throw some likes, all that stuff. We're also on TikTok and Blue Sky and kind of Instagram. So hit all of our stuff. This week, we're having some fun.
Yeah, I think a thing that I really enjoy is watching a whole show with you that I know you've never seen, that has a cast of characters in it that like would never be touched in a sort of like a retrospective of a particularly important person in wrestling history, but there's still value and entertainment to be had based upon that. And as we know from listening to this show, the soft spot in my heart for WCW, it goes forever. It's WCW is infinitely fascinating to me.
Yeah, dude. It was back when wrestling was wrestling. And men wore Wranglers. I guess they still wear Wranglers.
Yeah, the highest highs and the lowest lows, the most fun I get out of them is from WCW, because in a lot of ways it seems like a bunch of guys getting together and being like, let's just do a show. Let's just have some fun. Like the WWF, way too polished. Even when the WWF's bad, it's like it's a different kind of bad. It's a bad I don't find as interesting as WCW.
I agree with you. WWF is like all these like hairless Adonises walking around trying to get movie deals, and WCW, you got chest hair galore. You just got just real men out there putting on a dang show at the Hootenanny. And it is dude, even when, like, because this is to me, this is like still WCW is WCW, like is the NWA, like all that stuff. And then a few years later is when the NWO thing happens, and WCW is like almost the WWFication of WCW. But even when they did that, they had a psychopathic, charismatic moron at the helm,
right?
And it made things very interesting. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I completely agree.
Bunkhouse Buck, WWF could never,
dude. And honestly, they should have. Like God. We'll get to that match, but that is my like gold star point of the show for me. I think is that match. But we are talking about Bash at the Beach, 1994. I remember the first Bash at the Beach that I watched. I think it was 97. Dusty, was it 97?
No, we did watch Bash at the Beach 96 because that is when the NWO was formed.
That's Hulk turning, and then that show sucked, right? Except for the end. Is that true?
Well, it depends on how many matches you want to have on a poll and how highly you rank a match because something's on a poll. Okay. If that's what you're looking for, that's a 5-star show.
Yeah, then you're getting the green check mark.
Yeah, on a regular show, Bash at the Beach 96, not particularly great.
But iconic, ultimately.
But iconic, yes. Yeah. This is the inaugural Bash at the Beach. They had the previous couple of years they'd had a Beach Blast pay-per-view, but I think Bash at the Beach is a much better name. I think that's it's very evocative. You know exactly what you're getting, it's so WCW.
You're getting a bash and there's a beach, you know what I mean? And we're in Orlando, baby.
Fall Brawl, Bash at the Beach, Slamboree. These are names that are indicative to WCW and the idea of Southern wrestling.
When was the first Halloween Havoc?
1989.
Okay,
we got the Havoc before we got a Bash.
Okay.
Sometimes
you got to have a Havoc before a Bash.
Yeah.
I think a Havoc Bash.
A Havoc precedes a Bash.
Generally. It's a Havoc Bashery.
Yeah. That's there. Are you telling me that you write jokes?
Listen. Semi-professionally. I made $50 the other day.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so WCW, famously a mess. Have you heard about it? And
rest in peace, Ted. We miss you, dog.
We miss you, dude. In 1993, after Bill Watts was let go, we watched Starrcade 92. That was his swan song to professional wrestling, the King of Cable tournament. May it live in our hearts forever.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Bill Watts is forced to resign, and WCW needs a new chief officer. Now, standard thinking would have you go either with Tony Schiavone, who has been with the company for many, many years, or Jim Ross, who's the vice president, main color commentator, longtime wrestling guy, but he's really good friends with Bill Watts from Mid-South Wrestling. And in a story as old as time for corporations that buy stuff they don't know what to do with, everybody at Turner is like, we are sick of wrestling people. Because imagine if you're trying to run a CNN and also a WCW, and fucking Dusty Rhodes and Bill Watts are the dudes coming to the annual meetings that you got to deal with, and those are the wrestling people.
You're at the company party, and there's Walter Cronkite and Colonel Rob Parker.
Yeah, two sides of a very similar coin. Turns out, you got Chipper Jones and you got Buckhouse Buck, and you can't have both of them together. So WCW actually decides to go with a guy who throws his hat in the ring, not as a wrestling guy, but as a television guy, Mr. Eric Bischoff.
Yeah.
Bischoff gets promoted from like the lowest level announcer that they have to the executive vice president of WCW, which just imagine Jim Ross, a face never redder on Jim Ross that day. You'd have to imagine.
But one time, because I have a similar story. One time, a man who owned a nuclear power plant named C. Montgomery Burns, he promoted a dog to executive vice president.
Yep, that's very true. And the dog did have some good qualities. He was very photogenic, like Eric Bischoff. So Bischoff's running it for a bit. Bischoff decides in 94, we're going to kind of weave two stories together. Hulk Hogan's a big part of this show. So Hulk Hogan leaves WWF in June of 1993 on television. He loses the WWF title to Yokozuna at King of the Ring 1993 after wresting it from Bret Hart's hands at WrestleMania 9. He loses it to Yokozuna, does some house shows, does some spots in Japan. He's essentially leaving WWF because of the steroid scandal, and told Vince, like, hey, don't worry, I'm not going to go anywhere else. I just need a break. I want to do some television. I want to do some other things. The Hulk Hogan, he's hot right now. So I'm going to go these other ventures. I hear they're making a type of grill that you can put on your countertop. And the grease just falls right into the trap.
There's a little trap that catches the grease. Yeah. And then and Vince was like, well, Hulk, I've always known you to be a straight shooter.
Yeah, I've never once heard you double cross another person for your own personal benefit. So Hogan starts shooting this show called Thunder in Paradise, and it's on the MGM Disney lot. And so Bischoff, who they do the WCW tapings at the same lot, is like, Hogan's a free agent. And he goes to WCW management, and he's like, the only way that we're ever going to be able to compete with WWF and change the perception of what WCW is like, we have to go and get Hogan. And you have to give me the money to make that happen. And so Ric Flair goes and visits the set of Thunder in Paradise, probably looking for a free jet ski. Anybody got a free jet ski for a superstar?
For a superstar?
For a rock star?
I gotta get that drop, man. I keep fucking up not having that drop because nobody knows what we're talking about when we do that.
Oh, I've got some Thunder in Paradise lore to give you. What a terrible looking show.
I do not mean to be insensitive. Is that Whitney Houston?
That cannot be. I don't know.
It looks so much like Whitney Houston.
No.
People are allowed to look like each other. You know what I mean?
Thunder in Paradise, Whitney Houston never fell to the degree that Thunder in Paradise was the thing that she needed to do.
Whitney could have owed some people some money. Like, we know. I don't think it's Whitney Houston.
No. I'm going to go ahead and say definitively it's not Whitney Houston.
Terry Funk played a character named Amarillo Dokes on Thunder in Paradise.
Well, now I got to get that DVD set.
Yeah.
So Flair comes to see Hogan, and Flair's like, hey, you should talk to Eric Bischoff. Like, I think if I introduce you you guys will hit it off. And so Bischoff comes to Hogan and essentially pitches like, hey, I'm going to give you so much money and you will have to work such a small amount of time. We just want you on WCW television. It would be great. You could compete with Vince. You could prove that you did it yourself. You don't need Hulk, or you don't need Vince to make Hulk Hogan a star. And so when you know it, June of 1994, Hulk Hogan signs with WCW. They throw him a pretend, I guess not pretend, it really happened, a ticker tape, what do they call this? Ticker tape parade?
Ticker tape parade, yeah.
Yes, but it is not the will of the people to have this parade. They paid to have this parade. It's like on the Walk of Fame, but like getting a star.
You got to do it. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in a red Corvette going down the streets of Orlando, and they're throwing stuff at him, and people are like, Hulkamania, it's fucking back, baby. And so that's essentially how we get here. And of course, because WCW is not stupid, they're like, the one thing we could do is WWF never ran Flair and Hogan. We got to do Flair and Hogan. That's like immediately the match that they book is Flair versus Hogan for Bash at the Beach.
You mean they didn't book them against two different people as a double main event?
No, they did not get cold feet because they didn't do house shows. No, no data to get cold feet about. We think people want to see this match.
Real quick, just to tie ribbon on it, that was Kiki Shepard.
Okay,
the
actress.
We've also got recurring cast Steve Borden, Stang as Adam Hammerhead McCall, and Brutus the Barber Beefcake played both Brutus and the Beast.
Oh, of course.
Tale of Otis Time.
The Beastcake. You think he's pitching an episode where the beef gets slammed into his face by some lady's knees, and they have to reconstruct his face, and that's why he becomes the Beast?
Guys, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
We've got Jim the Anvil Neidhart playing Norman Kowalski.
Okay. Just a regular guy's name. He doesn't get a superlative.
Jimmy Hart playing Jimmy.
Okay. Makes sense.
And it makes sense. And then Giant Gonzalez played Mortador or Terremoto. I said that in a Japanese accent for some reason.
Yeah.
Terremoto. But yeah, listen. We might have to watch Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
you watch it first.
Then we get a Patreon. We watch Thunder in Paradise.
Yeah, guys, offer to send us money.
Yeah, to watch Thunder in Paradise. So just kind of as a table setting, the previous main events for WCW in 1994, Ric Flair beat Big Van Vader in the Thunder Cage, not a regular cage. That's why WCW rules. WWF would have too many marketing people in their building going, can't call it a Thunder Cage. That's stupid as hell. Not WCW. You call it a Thunder Cage.
Yeah,
why?
WWF's creative was once again Simpsons reference. when she's like, call him something weird and fun like Poochie or something, and then she leaves, and all the writers are like, so are we good with Poochie? And then they order food.
Yeah, steel cage, evocative enough. We don't need the thunder cage.
We had the thunder cage. We had the doomsday cage.
Yeah.
Was there a thunder? There's another thunder
dome.
I thought. Okay, I was gonna feel stupid if I was wrong about that. I remember and we got the War Games cage.
I think they might have a terror dome too from the original Halloween Havoc. Remember, because it's supposed to be electrified at the top. And so
and all you've got in WWF is the Punjabi prison, which is the worst thing in the world.
And the Hell in the Cell. But Hell in the Cell's later. They don't get credit for Hell in the Cell now. Thunder Cage predates
the
Hell
fair.
in the Cell.
That's fair.
Then at Spring Stampede, which is a show we have watched in the past, Ric Flair beat Ricky Steamboat, or it ended in a double pin for the WCW heavyweight title, running back their 1989 feud. And then in the main event of Slamboree, Sting defeated Big Van Vader for the WCW International title, which is different than the WCW heavyweight title that Ric Flair beat Barry Windham for on that same show. And then they unified the belts so that they didn't have two titles.
Because like we always say, Dusty, if you got two champions,
you got zero champions.
You got zero champions.
Yeah, no champions. So all of that is what is leading into Bash at the Beach 1994. Turns out they put their best foot forward here. The video package to start this show is just like, can you fucking believe it? It's Flair and Hogan.
I wrote in my notes, sorry, I should have my notes out already. I wrote in my notes, I love a wrestling pay-per-view that begins with "since the beginning of time," because the voiceover begins with "since the beginning of time."
But the cavemen all the way up to now have wondered if we put Hogan and Flair in the same ring, what's going to happen.
And this is legitimately the first time they've ever wrestled each other.
This is the first time they've had a one-on-one match on television. There were some tag matches in WWF whenever they were both there.
Yeah,
but this is the first one. They get to call Hogan a 5-time champ, but they can't specify that he was champion of where, champion of Applebee's, champion of the bowling alley, whatever. The dude's got 5 belts. Doesn't matter.
He probably has at one point been the champion of an Applebee's.
Oh yeah, most boneless wings. They stopped that promotion once the Hulkster got in there. I'm eating 150 wings tonight, brother. Only God can stop me.
Sir, you've only had 75 wings. 197 wings went through my gullet. I love that they open with Shivani and Brain, and as soon as Bobby Heenan gets introduced and starts talking, the entire crowd starts booing him.
Yeah, that's Bobby Heenan and Mean Gene Okerlund have defected to WCW the previous year, basically due to budget cuts in WWF. Heenan was going to kind of soft retire and try to maybe do something in Hollywood and entertainment, and then they called him and offered him, like, I assume, a boatload of money. So he debuted in January of '94 for WCW.
A Bobby Heenan like late night talk show would have been great, I think.
Oh yeah, like that. That's what he kind of, I think, wanted to do, was kind of a variety show.
Yeah,
where kind of a Letterman thing. You just bring a bunch of weirdos on his show, and he gets to make fun of them. Heenan's one of the best.
Heenan and Rickles in the same room would have been just gold.
Incredible.
At the very beginning, one real quick, Bobby said, I don't know if I'm sorry if I'm stepping on what you're going to say.
No, go ahead.
He says, they say something about Bobby being happy, and Bobby says, I'm going to be happy when Ric Flair's hand is raised in victory and Hulk Hogan leaves Orlando on his hands and knees, and all the humanoids here are pointing at him saying, loser, loser, loser.
Yeah. Turns out Heenan's disdain for Hogan transfers companies. That's forever. You know,
that's probably in his contract. He's like, listen, if you're going to sign me, I have to hate Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Mean Gene debuted November of '93. So it's kind of funny, like, because obviously WCW in the '90s gets compared like to building kind of the shrine of WWF in the 80s, but it's like they got those pieces independent of Hogan, and then suddenly Hogan's there, and now the gang's back together. And if you're flipping through the channels looking for wrestling, you're like, hey, here's my friends. Here's the guys I remember. Who's the other dork on the other show? Todd Pettengill. I don't know who that dude is. I remember Mean Gene.
I bet I hate that guy.
I bet I hate that dude.
They also got Jesse Ventura on this show. So
yeah, there's a funny Jesse Ventura thing here. They do show an angle of Sting getting injured, where a Sensational Sherry also debuts dressed as a dude. And she gets atomic dropped by Hulk Hogan, and then takes all her stuff off, all her prosthetics, and then she's siding with Flair. But she injured Sting with her nails, so Sting is out for this show.
Yeah, she like raked his eyes. She looks a little Jeff Foxworthy-esque as a man.
Yeah, I was gonna say she has like a Charlie Chaplin vibe going.
That's fair.
In the suit. The brain, because of course WCW threw out invites to all the dignitaries. So Shaquille O'Neal is here, this might be not the peak of Shaq, but it's definitely a high point because he just came to the Orlando Magic. And so backstage, Heenan says, I saw Shaquille backstage without his shoes on. Guy's 5'10".
Yeah, that's great. It was a great
I really
one.
like.
By the way, you skipped it. Darren Norwood sang the national anthem.
Nope, I have Guy singing national anthem up next.
Oh man, I've got that in different order. But anyway.
Boy, did this guy look like he sang the national anthem in 1994?
Bro, I'm gonna try to find him real quick. Darren Norwood is his name. Oh, found a good shot of him. If you'd told me this was Lee Greenwood, I would have said yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Are we doing a mullet competition tonight?
He does look like a Will Forte character from SNL.
He does, for sure.
But he also is, of course, number one on the mullet contender list for today.
Oh boy, is this a mullet? Yeah. And by the way, pretty darn good anthem. Does a really good job.
Does a good job. There's apparently they're panning through the crowd, and there must be some dude that owes money to someone in this crowd, because there's a dude who looks like a mobster. like a certified Goodfellas ass mobster in the first sweeping crowd shot. Looks completely out of place because they go from like Daryl Norwood to normal wrestling person in the crowd to this dude that looks like he's from The Sopranos. Not the last time I'm going to say somebody looks like they're from The Sopranos on this show.
There's a few guys that look like they're from The Sopranos. Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to find him, but I don't know if I'll be able to find him.
Match number 1 for the World Television title. We have replacing Sting, equal or greater value, Johnny B. Bad, to start the show.
Why did I question myself, Dusty? You know what I mean?
I'm not sure if Dusty means this guy.
Yeah, I found him pretty quick. He's wearing sunglasses. He looks like Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of Seagal. He's and that's clearly his wife, his long-suffering wife standing next to him. I can't believe I got to go see Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair this afternoon.
And that's not his hand on his heart. He's checking to make sure his gun's still there.
Yeah,
in his jacket.
Yeah. Paul Roma's about to have a visit backstage from this guy. Versus Johnny Bad is taking on Lord Steven Regal with Squire William for the television title. Johnny B. Bad comes out. He's got many glitter guns, as in multiple regular sized glitter guns to all four corners of the ring, and these things are a fucking menace the rest of this show.
Oh, dude, there are silver big ass pieces of confetti all over every wrestler in the rest of this show because of Johnny B. Bad's entrance. I have to ask you a question, Dusty.
Yes.
Blackface?
It's tough.
Mark Merrow is a Jewish man.
Okay. Well,
look at him in this picture.
I believe that is at the directive of others.
Also it's a tan. Like it's not. Yeah, I don't think he's wearing makeup. So
he's put way too much toner on.
It's freaking crazy how much this guy looks like Little Richard.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. Is I believe Dusty Rhodes was like, "You look like Little Richard." We're going to go ahead and make you be Little Richard. The big complaint about Johnny B. Bad that I've always seen, or Mark Marrow, is that like he didn't really learn how to wrestle. He learned how to play Johnny B. Bad. And then whenever he became Mark Marrow in the WWF, he didn't have anything other than to be Johnny B. Bad, you know?
I don't really love the Johnny B. Bad situation. I don't like the name. I think that the name they thought was more clever than it was.
Yeah.
I do like the line, "It's a good day to be bad," though.
Yeah, and I think I remember believing that Johnny B. Bad was a very good wrestler when I was younger. But I think it was because he was wrestling better people who were putting on good matches that he happened to be a part of. You know? We get a younger, spry looking Steve Regal here. I believe he's in his late 20s, maybe early 30s. And a younger Nick Patrick. Did you clock Nick Patrick as the referee of this match?
I did. The scar on my forehead started to burn.
Do you think he was getting multiple directions backstage about how to count on this opening contest? Johnny B. Bad's like, "Slow count me, brother," and then he's. I really like the way Steven Regal wrestles.
Me too.
And this match is a lot of Steven Regal just like doing holds and putting Johnny B. Bad in different wrestling maneuvers. And I believe it was Arn Anderson when Steve Regal first got to WCW, and Regal was kind of floundering because in England they do a different style of wrestling. They do kind of a round based wrestling match that's 5 minutes. And then there's a break, and then you come back and you do 5 more. And it's all like chain wrestling and stuff. And in America, that wasn't really working for him because the matches are shorter and there's no breaks. And he was like, I can't really do anything else but this. I'm really good at this. But they give him a shot with the world TV title. And it was Arn Anderson came up to him backstage and was like, "That's a kiss of death, man." He's like, "You got to be on TV every week, and you're wrestling these longer, like 10, 15-minute matches every single week." And Regal was like, "That's fucking great." This is great for me. This is actually the epitome of the thing that I want, because they expect me to go out there and eat up time, and I get to do my style of wrestling. The crowd is really into Johnny B. Bad. Say what you will, they like Johnny B. Bad.
That's 100% true. That's 100% true. And he is over. And here's a shot of the confetti. That is just this, the scorn of every fucking person who wrestles the rest of the night. I mean, they get it off the ring for this after this match, but it's still on the side. And it's just still getting all over
every time somebody takes a bump to the floor, it's all over them. So the end of this match, Johnny B. Bad is on the outside. He tries to sunset flip back into the ring, and Regal grabs the top rope, and then his squire gives him the umbrella to hold on to try to leverage to win. And the referee catches him doing that, kicks his hand, which is beyond the referee's purview, I think.
But it's Nick Patrick, bro. He lives outside the rules. Well, listen. We know this guy. He's a menace.
He's a man without boundary. Regal kicks out of the sunset flip, flips like back over Johnny B. Bad, and stacks him up to win the match and retain the title. 10 minutes and 40 seconds. I was curious, why not just let Regal cheat to win? Because like that saves your baby face and also puts some heat on your heel. Like if Johnny B. Bad's not going to win, why have him look like an idiot and get stacked up and pinned like 10 seconds after Regal is foiled?
You hired your announcer.
WCW, baby.
To run the
yeah.
It's listen, we live, be nonsensical is that's the cheer they do. They go 1, 2, 3, be nonsensical. That's backstage.
That is on the family crest of World Championship Wrestling.
I'm trying to get us to the spot. One of my favorite parts of the show. Mark Marrow punches Steven Regal in the face, and Steven Regal hits the ground and rolls under the top rope and stands next to the ring. And Shivani calls it, but then the brain goes, he didn't get him good, though. Like, had he got him good, and then in the middle of saying had he got him good, right here, he goes, he didn't get him good, go. Had he got him good, boom, Mark Merrill lands on top of him.
Yeah.
It was one of my favorite spots of the whole thing, just because it was like they didn't show Merrill running to get to, so it's just a surprise Mark Merrill landing on top of your head.
I do like
hilarious.
whenever they used to shoot it like that, where it was like the dude's coming out of nowhere, you know, whereas now they want the long shot so you can see the build up and everything, but it always looked cool when it was just out of nowhere.
Well, it looked out of nowhere. It looked like the announcers, because a lot of times with the cuts now, not always, it still happens. So like I don't want to completely shit on them, but like now you can tell they know the spots. They know what to frame up. At least I don't know if it's the director in the booth or if it's the cameraman themselves. Somebody knows the shots, so they know what's going to come at certain big spots. But like the comedy of Bobby the Brain being like, "Oh, didn't get him good enough. Had he got him good," and then boom, he lands on top of him. It was great. It was great.
After this match, Heenan says he has something to check on the back, and behind Heenan is, I don't know this dude's name, but he is definitely the premier Hulk Hogan lookalike dude in Florida, because this dude's at all the WCW shows and WWE shows dressed as Hogan. This guy's reaction when Hogan turned heel in Bash at the Beach 96, hilarious. But he's a Hogan lookalike. I think they did a lookalike contest for this show, which is why that guy's here. But in the ring, for no reason, Gene.
Hold on real quick. They show this guy a bunch. Like he is all over this show. I mean, he looks like Hulk. I mean, he's probably 5'9", but like he looks like the Hulkster. It's
not a hard costume to pull off, really. If you're like, get over tan, buy some Hulkamania merch, either grow or have a fake mustache, and then you're kind of Hogan. You know,
if you've got the hair and the mustache and you're white, you look like Hulk Hogan. So like maybe 90%. Not me because I'm so lanky, but like
right, it's like 90% there.
Yeah, you know? I look like Sulk Hogan. Professional joke writer.
Professional joke writer. You're Hulk Hogan before he found the genie in the lamp.
That is true. Yeah. That is true.
Mean Gene's in the ring, and he's here to announce and introduce Antonio Inoki, who is a distinguished member now of the Japanese elected, I guess, Congress, maybe. I don't know what they call it in Japan, but he's an elected official in Japan.
Yeah, I think they said he's basically a senator, just to kind of so everybody knows.
Famous professional wrestler, one of the most famous Japanese professional wrestlers in history. They give him a plaque, but of course all of this is just backdrop so that Steve Regal can come back in the ring and talk about how undeserving Antonio Inoki is of a plaque for basically starting Japanese wrestling, and how deserving he is because he just beat Johnny B. Bad. So,
did Inoki ever beat Johnny B. Bad? Give me a break. You know what I mean?
I'll have to check the cage match, but I don't think so. And Regal,
just as funny, Regal completely covered in confetti the entire time he's saying
completely covered in confetti, talking shit to Inoki only makes it better. Like, they couldn't have planned that, but it makes it so much funnier. So then Inoki takes off his jacket, and of course Regal bails. Regal doesn't want to actually wrestle Antonio Inoki, and then they do eventually have like a little miniature feud.
Well, and that's cool. I didn't know that. The one and Regal, being the professional that he is, he put Inoki over in what he's saying, because he's like, "Oh, you think you can beat Muhammad Ali and Andre the Giant? Right. Oh, just because of that you get a plaque?" And it's like, the cool thing about that is there's probably maybe less so than I think, but there's probably a decent amount of people who are watching and who were in the building who didn't know that Inoki had the Ali thing and like was such a big deal. So it kind of contextualized it. Like Bobby Heenan's really good at it, even especially in the main event tonight, of like indirectly putting the other guy over while expressing his disdain for him. You know what I mean? One thing I did just notice, by the way, for those of you watching, that looks exactly like Frankie from American Pickers, like exactly like him. And Frankie just died like a couple years ago. Maybe it could be him.
Is it outside the realm of possibility that he was at Bash at the Beach? I would say no.
Could totally be him.
Could totally be him. We get Jesse on color commentary now for the second match, which is Big Van Vader with Harley Race, taking on a a person on this podcast that we really enjoy. What would we say? A luminary of this podcast. One, Ray Traylor.
Yeah, man. I wrote down this Guardian Angel fellow looks familiar. This guy strikes me as some sort of boss man.
Kind of. And if I had to go further, based on his size, I might even call him a big boss man.
Yeah. And then, if some sort of Big Bubba character.
Yeah, some kind of big bro.
God damn it, do I love Ray Traylor. Listen, if some sort of like allegations or any bad things pop up against Ray Traylor, those might be the first ones that I just cup over my ears. Listen, it's past the statute of limitation. He's been dead for a long time.
Yeah. From what I hear, clean.
Seems like a great guy, man.
Seems like a great guy. They just did his Dark Side of the Ring episode. It was really good. Sad for turns out for Ray Traylor.
I mean, you see pictures of him, like you look at, he might have some sad eyes. Did he die in his 50s?
Yeah, I believe so. No,
Christ.
I believe he died in his 40s. I don't even think that he was in his 50s. But he's also famously come over from WCW because he cannot stand to be a big boss
41.
man.
41.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude.
I'm older than the big boss man was when the big boss man passed away. Think about that.
God.
That's wild.
God damn.
made it happen.
Had a boy, bro.
Yeah.
I was stoked when I beat Jesus. Now you fucking...
I'm ahead of the boss man, dude.
Yeah.
Of course, Ray Traylor could not be a big boss man in a WWE that was engulfed in scandal. So he leaves and goes to WCW, and initially they call him the boss. And WWE comes back and goes, I don't think he can be the boss.
That's half the name, isn't it?
That's half of our thing, isn't it? And Big Bubba Rogers is famous for being a heel, so they can't go back to Big Bubba Rogers. So he transitions. He's not a cop anymore. He's part of the Guardian Angel Safety Patrol, which is a real ass thing. I don't know if you were aware of its real assness, but this is a real thing that was created in 1979 in New York to basically be a volunteer organization that does citizens arrests on the subway and the streets of a crime-ridden New York.
Oh, I do remember this. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I
Created by
happening.
Curtis Siwa. It's the name of the guy who started the Guardian Angels.
They would go on like the subway and just stand there.
Non-violent, no weapons, and in teams, so that you and your buddy could citizens arrest people. It's insane to me that this existed, and everybody was like, "Yeah, I guess you could do it."
There's probably a lot of, "Hey, come on!"
Yeah, if you want to spend your free time doing it. So they're like, "Okay, he can't be a cop. He can't be like
this one's wearing MMA gloves."
Yeah, it seems like those dudes, based on everything I know about the way people's psychology works, would only exacerbate a difficult situation by having literally zero real authority.
Well, the thing is, this was in 1979. There's no guns.
Yeah,
nobody guns didn't exist until like 1997.
You can't buy knives.
Money can't buy knives.
Money can't buy knives. So we're gonna have to put out an encyclopedia of the things that we repeat on this podcast all the time. Because how many people have seen Surf Ninjas? You know what I mean? Clearly not enough, because they did not make Surf Ninjas 2, which I'm holding
Electric
out.
Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. So now he's the Guardian Angel. He comes right out. Thing I don't like, and I might be in the minority here, because I love Ray Traylor, but I also love Vader. And I don't like how often Vader allows himself to get body slammed by guys, and they make it not a big deal. And I think that that's wrong. And I feel like that was bad for Vader. Leon was too giving in his... Because, yes, Guardian Angel body slamming Vader at the end of his match, pretty awesome. He body slams him 30 seconds into this match. It is like, well, who gives a shit about Vader? What happened to the intimidating monster Vader? Some other dude could just pick him up and body slam him.
Well, yeah, and he also, he not only, God damn it, I lost the screenshot. He not only body slams, but as you said, he also literally picks him up onto his shoulder and walks around a little bit.
Yeah, like, and again, like you could do that as a babyface move at the end of the match. I don't recall many Andre the Giant matches where he got body slammed at the beginning. You know, you might want to build up to your big spot there.
Yeah,
so
at least it's the boss, man. You know, like
yeah,
it's not
yeah.
Hurricane Helms.
Yeah, that is true. I love this
But I
match.
understand what you're saying.
I love this match in its way because this is like two big dudes in a sloppy fight. This is probably a fight the Guardian Angels had to break up before, because neither one of these guys is really being super graceful in their movements. Like, there's a lot of dudes falling over while doing their moves in this match. But Vader keeps going back to the body attack thing he does, where he just runs at a dude and just kind of slams his arms into him. Like 2 or 3 times Vader falls down after he does this move to the Boss Man. I'm calling him the Boss Man. I'm gonna forget to call him the Guardian Angel every time.
He's the Boss Man.
Yeah.
So there's a part where the Boss Man dumps Harley Race over the out of the ring, and then Vader just smacks the Boss Man right in the back of the head with a closed fist.
Yep.
And like Leon, as we know, very sensitive, nice guy from what I understand. Like to beat the fuck out of people every once in a while. And these guys, like, there was another one. Boss Man throws a punch, a right hand at Vader, and it's either the best worked punch I've ever seen in my life, or he punched Vader in the face.
Right in the face. And Vader doesn't, early on, after Vader suffers the indignity of being body slammed, Guardian Angel just grabs his mask and pulls it off. Like 3 minutes. And so Vader doesn't even have the protection of his mask against these punches from Boss Man.
Listen, that mask probably not doing a whole lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've also got Jesse Ventura invoking Pearl Harbor at one point during this match.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
I did. Ventura, like, his commentary here is so interesting, and I'll get to why in a second. He's like so checked out on this show. So Vader takes over. Vader looks like I don't know if you've been keeping up on MMA. A couple weeks ago, somebody won a fight with a calf slicer. And it looks like at one point that's what Vader's trying to do to Big Boss Man. I've never seen this before. Big Boss Man is face down, and Vader picks his leg up and just does like half of an STF. He doesn't go for the rest of the move, and he's just sitting there just cranking poor Boss Man's leg. And I was so maybe an early adopter of leg submissions.
He did spend a lot of time in Japan, man. You know what I mean?
He might
Shouts
have learned
Pearl Harbor.
So towards the end of this match, Harley Race is helping Vader, and he hands Vader a retractable, or I guess what you would call a retractable, right? A police baton that you can, foldable police baton or whatever. And Vader goes to hit Boss Man with it. Boss Man cuts him off. Boss Man picks it up. The referee sees it and immediately disqualifies him. Nobody's been hit with this thing.
Yeah.
Neither guy.
Well, and the story is that the Guardian Angel came over with his what'd you call it? Baton.
Yeah.
And it was confiscated. They had taken away his baton. So Vader reintroduces the baton, and then it ends up facing the doo-doo. You know what I mean? You end up you can't have it in your hand, man.
And then after the match, they brawl. Guardian Angel gets the better of him. Might have been a perfect time to body slam somebody. What do I know? And Vader technically wins by disqualification. 7 minutes, 58 seconds. This got 2.5 stars. The opening match also got 2.5 stars. And then they cut to Ventura, who's with Shivani. And Shivani's like, hey, do you have a guess for who's going to win the main event? Do you have a prediction? And Ventura goes, I already told you, Ric Flair. I don't care. And this is mostly because Ventura has been having problems with WCW management. Bischoff tells a story about Ventura falling asleep during a production meeting for WCW Saturday Night.
He snores too.
Oh yeah, dude.
Ventura snores.
He was in Nam. He's got whatever those issues are coming back home.
He might have some night terrors.
Yeah, he needs the dry air of the Baja to heal his sleep apnea.
It's too humid in this place. It reminds me of the jungles of Da Nang.
I'm so thirsty. Good thing I brought some of this booty sweat back in Da Nang. I don't read the script. Script reads me. It's
give me that goddamn map.
Give me that goddamn map. Probably the main reason is that Jesse Ventura hates Hulk Hogan.
He does,
and this is right after the steroid, or this is in the midst of the steroid trial, where it comes out in deposition that Hulk Hogan is the reason that the unionizing of the wrestlers that Jesse Ventura was trying to get together before WrestleMania 2 doesn't happen, because Hulk goes and tells Vince. And noted truth teller and good guy Hulk Hogan just breaking up the wrestler reunion,
loyal to the end, you know what I mean? Yep. But the Ventura thing, I wrote down Ventura picks Flair, which is like picking the Generals over the Globetrotters. Another Simpsons reference. Shout out to Krusty.
Maybe this time
he's spinning the ball on his finger. Take it.
Come on. So this is Ventura's last, I believe this is Ventura's last appearance in WCW. He's completely checked out. Third,
I love Jesse Ventura.
Yeah,
like as a great guy, he's kind of annoying, right? Like, and but he's such an interesting character. He was a Navy SEAL. He was a governor. He did really well in wrestling. Like, he's so successful, and he's so weird. He's like the more likable Ted Nugent in his personality.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, he didn't invent this, but he is the perfection of the heel color commentator.
Oh, he's so good at it.
All of those early WWF pay-per-views, which by the way he had to sue to get to get royalties off of those being sold in the 80s. So that's why Vince hated him forever, because he did actually get a judgment against Vince. Yeah. But yeah, like, he's integral to early Hulkamania, those early pay-per-views. A really good color commentary. Less good in WCW, but there's still some highlights. His unabashed love for Rick Rude. That's like if Flair is to Heenan the way Ventura is to Rick Rude.
So am I.
Yeah, love Rick Rude.
Love the Rick Rude.
Yeah, not on this show. Back destroyed, unfortunately.
It was one of those atomic drops.
Yeah. So up next, we get Dustin Rhodes and AA Arn Anderson versus Bunkhouse Buck, which I'm sure I'm going to call him Bunkhouse Buck the whole time.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. And Terry Funk. You got a Funk and a Buck. Good luck. That's a commentary. Like, those are landmines for the commentary team.
It is really tough.
Somebody saying really fuck on this show for sure.
It's crazy that nobody did.
This match gets a video package. This is the only match on this pay-per-view where you have Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, the two biggest stars in the history of wrestling at that point. And this is the match that gets a video package. Third match on the show.
Well, they had to really drive home what ultimately was going to happen in this match.
Of course, Terry Funk and Dusty Rhodes. It'll never be over. We never stop beefing.
With these dudes. These
we never stop beefing. I don't.
What do you say? I can't fight the son of a carpenter, so I'm going to fight the son of a carpenter.
Yeah. He calls Dusty an egg sucking dog again.
Yeah.
And then he attacks Dustin with a branding iron at Slamboree. Busts his head all open. And then the funniest thing to me is Bunkhouse Buck and Terry Funk cannot figure out how to do this spike pile driver that they really want to do on Dustin Rhodes in this clip. Because it's like, it's going to be Bunkhouse doing the pile driver and Funk on the second rope. And so Funk goes to the second rope. Bunkhouse can't get Dustin up. So Funk jumps down. Then Bunkhouse does get him up, and then Funk is like, "Fuck it," and he just starts kicking him. And
they're too real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like these are two ranch hands trying to be in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
I had to get the Dusty Sucks Egg shirt on the screen. But listen, you can't expect perfection. You got middle-aged and crazy in there. You know what I mean?
That's true. Then Arn Anderson is asked by Dustin Rhodes if he'll be his partner, and Arn Anderson agrees. Before we get to this match, they show some what might be close to your heart, radio bullshit that happened before this pay-per-view took place, where a female wrestler wrestled two. I can't tell based on the commentary. I guess these guys are the DJs, perhaps, but they are part of the Ron and Ron show that played in Florida.
So they wrestled the Sassy Boys, which I love.
See, I think they are the Sassy Boys. I also love the name the Sassy Boys
because Ron Bennington is one of my radio heroes, one of the Rons. He has stage 4 cancer, and he's doing he does a podcast now where he interviews comedians while in the hospital getting cancer treatment. Ron Bennington is one of the greatest radio personalities of all time. He's famously of Ron and Fez. Fez Whatley, huge wrestling fan, God rest his soul. But that's Ron Bennington in the front right there, front center. That's Ron Bennington.
Okay.
So he's not one of these guys right here. They just were in the corners. But if you guys ever want to listen if you're sick of podcasts, only listen to ours and then find some old Ron and Fez, because Ron Bennington is a radio genius. Or listen to his new podcast. He interviewed Shane Gillis, and Shane was crying almost, being like, "This is the coolest thing. This is this that you're doing this," because he's dying of cancer and still doing interviews. But anyway,
yeah. So
had to give a shout out to Ron Bennington.
Yeah, shout out to the Sassy Boys. That's funny. I like that.
Great name. Great name.
Dustin Rhodes and Double A versus Bunkhouse Buck. What? Bunkhouse Bunk.
Bunkhouse Buck. You don't want to fight these fucking guys, by the way.
No,
you do not want to fight these guys.
And Terry Funk with Colonel Robert Parker and Ming.
Yeah. Bring the whole posse out.
The whole gang. Has there ever been two wrestlers from a cooler place? Buckhouse Buck is from Buck Snort, Tennessee. And of course, Terry Funk is from the Double Cross Ranch in Amarillo, Texas. The best fucking
better
name
than the
in
Double
history.
Cross.
No.
Yeah. Nothing's better than the Double Cross.
I gotta name my band the Double Cross Ranch.
That's actually sick.
Yeah. Dustin looks awesome. He's got a matching sequence top and chaps for his gear coming in, and he's with Arn Anderson. Arn starts the match, but Bunkhouse wants Rhodes in. Yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah, and as we've talked about, we do love a Dustin Rhodes. We love a natural. Dustin Rhodes.
And listen, I need you to not react to this because we don't want to spoil things. I shouldn't have even said that.
Yeah.
But I wrote down, I feel like Arn Anderson should also be in the rides for his Hitters Hall of Fame, because we've got right now the two guys in history of wrestling that ride for their guys more than anybody is Macho Man Randy Savage and Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Yes.
And when Arn Anderson agreed to join this match because he wanted to fight for what was right, I was really stoked on that, because Arn Anderson does seem like a guy who rides for his guys.
Yeah. You just got to make sure you know which guys.
Yeah.
Arn
which
Anderson's
guys he's riding for.
Yeah. So Dustin Rhodes is incredible in this match.
Yeah.
Terry Funk is incredible. I don't know if there's a more watchable pro wrestler. I guess there are guys who do wrestling in a way where it looks beautiful. We'll get to a guy in a little bit. Ricky Steamboat reminds me of this. Savage in his way kind of reminds me of this. Watching Shawn Michaels, there's Bret Hart is a technical master at wrestling. I don't know that there's a better dude to watch do pro wrestling than Terry Funk. Everything he does,
you believe him.
Yeah. And everything he does is funny and hilarious and also scary. He can be the bumbling backwoods idiot, because you're like, I still definitely would not want to fight that guy.
Dude, there's a part where he's on the apron and Dustin punches him, and he does his I'm about to pass out walk that he does when he gets punched. Is like I'm gone, like Weekend at Bernie's walk, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he takes 2 steps, left, right, and then the third step is a left, and he completely misses the apron with the third step and just bumps hard onto the ground.
Yeah,
it made me laugh so hard. It was, dude, he's just a master at being, like you just said, being tough as nails, not a guy you want to fuck with, but just facing the doo-doo constantly.
That's there's a point in the match where they get a long set of heat on Dustin, because Dustin in the early part is kicking everybody's ass, and then he goes for a cross body and misses, and unfortunately they put stairs in the middle of the apron on one side, and so Dustin not only misses the cross body, goes under the bottom rope, rolls down an entire set of stairs to the floor.
I think Steamboat does the same thing later on.
Yeah, so he's Dustin's messed up, and they're both the heels are taking turns beating him up. Funk does hit a power driver on him, and then Dustin starts making his comeback, and he hits Funk with a move that I can't remember, and Funk is on the mat back first, just flopping like a fish, trying to get over to make the tag to Bunkhouse. Incredible.
And also give it to fucking Bunkhouse Buck in this match.
Yeah,
because he sells his ass off the whole time. He's not Terry, but he holds his own with Terry. You know, I found the bump, by the way. I'm gonna get us demonetized, but we got to see this. Look, 1, 2 steps right off the apron. And it looked an accident, and he got up and he tried to fight Meng and Colonel Rob Parker. There's another time where he takes a bionic elbow. I think it's no, it's a headbutt. He gets headbutted by Dustin Rhodes, and he gets up with his arm out, and he starts walking towards Arn Anderson to get the tag.
Dude, I could watch 100 hours of Terry Funk wrestling.
Oh, it's so good,
it's incredible. Dustin gets trapped in the corner, but then fires up and fights all the heels. It's awesome. The crowd is 100% behind Dustin at this point. It's like he doesn't really even need Arn Anderson, and then he finally crawls over, makes the tag to Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson gets in the ring, does his fire up.
Oh, and real quick, there's a couple times because to set this up, Arn Anderson is doing really good work in the corner. He's doing some Mark
baiting
Curtis
of the
work.
Crowd.
He's getting the crowd around Dustin. There's one part where Dustin's in the middle of the ring, and I can't remember if it's Terry or Bunkhouse Buck is dropping knees on Dustin's lower back, and Arn is it's like they hurt him. He's walking and holding his lower back, and then there's another part where they're both in the corner, Buck and Terry, and they're both getting bionic elbows, and Bunkhouse Buck sells the shit out of it, by the way.
Yeah.
And Arn Anderson is in camera frame throwing air punches, so stoked on what Dustin Rhodes is doing, for the record. He's riding for his hitters in the corner.
Yeah. Dustin finally gets the tag to Anderson, who does his fire up pose and immediately turns around and DDTs Dustin Rhodes. Hilarious. Fucking hilarious.
Dude, you walk out with him. You support him the whole time. You're doing the emotes when he's doing good. You're feeling for him when he's feeling bad. And you son of a bitch, Arn Anderson, you freaking hit him with the DDT immediately. Daniel Tosh was right, bro. I hate that son of a bitch.
This is one of the reasons you could never trust him. You know?
Oh man.
And then he lays Terry Funk on top of Dustin, and Dustin's dead. That's another part of this that's so great is you get the shock of the DDT, the immediate heels fuck over the babyface to get the win. Funk and Bunkhouse Bunk win 11 minutes 15 seconds. This gets 3 stars. And then after the match, of course, because it's never over, they lay Dustin out, and then Arn drops a bunch of knees on Dustin's arm, and they kayfabe break his arm, and the officials come out and run him off. Awesome match. This is like such a little amount of time for anybody who's listening to this, who wants to watch this. If you got 12 minutes, you will be deeply entertained by this.
Dude, there's so much we can't. If we said every funny or cool thing that happened in this match, we would be here for an hour just on that match. And this is, listen, the rest of there's stuff I like in the rest of the evening. This is my favorite match of the card. I had so much fun watching every second of it. And like I said, shout out to Bunkhouse Buck, dude. I was not familiar with your game. Like I knew he existed, but like he was a perfect teammate for Terry Funk. They bumped in a very similar way. They did a lot of very similar stuff. Like I thought he did a great job. Everybody did their job really well in this match.
Yeah. Well, and it's perfect because like if you see a picture of Bunkhouse and Terry Funk together, you're like, oh yeah, those dudes hang out.
Oh yeah,
those dudes hang out for sure, and it's trouble when they come to town.
Yeah.
And then
it's Buck and Funk, dude.
Yeah, and then no, not Bunk and Funk. And then adding Arn Anderson is also perfect. You're like, oh yeah, that's another guy. That guy goes perfect with him.
This is just a bar fighting group of dudes. Because even Dustin Rhodes, like I know he's got the blonde hair and stuff, but like even him, if he walks into a bar, you're like, okay,
that's a big ass. Dustin Rhodes is a big ass dude.
Let's stay away from that guy. You know what I mean? Like
we don't want
And I love Texas Dustin Rhodes, bro. Like we've talked about this on the podcast before. I could never tell them that Goldust was a mistake because Goldust ended up being an iconic wrestling figure, you know. But I like just straight up corn-fed Dustin Rhodes too. Yeah. Like I think he could have had a great career as well. But in the changing times, he could have been a foil to Stone Cold.
Yeah, definitely. But it's also like I'm sure those Goldust checks were real nice.
That's what I'm saying. Like I would never tell him not to do Goldust. I bet he's glad that they did Goldust, but I do also like Dustin Rhodes.
In the aisleway, the heels just blow off Gene Okerlund. He's like immediately offended at Arn Anderson's betrayal, even though it's pro wrestling, you know. And he's like, I got to get a word with these guys. And Arn Anderson's like, if you want to come talk to me, I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna be getting drunk in the back. I hit one move. This is a nice payday for me. I don't have to take any bumps. This is a good night to be Arn Anderson.
The crowd's real mad at me.
Yeah. I did my exact job. I bet Arn Anderson was so stoked on the apron when he's like, I can't believe what I'm about to do to these motherfuckers.
I can't fucking wait to see what these people think about me afterwards. Like, you guys, all right, keep cheering me. Keep cheering me.
No. I want it. Give it to me.
By the way, we don't have to go through the whole thing. Look at how long Bunkhouse Buck's list of accomplishments on Wikipedia is.
Look at that.
He wrestled at a lot of places, was the champion in a lot of places.
Oh, Tennessee Mountain champion, of course. 3 times.
And him and Dirty Dick Slater were worst tag team in 1995. But he never went to WWF.
No, I think it's like he wrestled in the South. He liked wrestling. I think he might have saw what they did to Southern characters in WWF. It's like he doesn't want to become like a plumber.
I don't want to be one of the Godwins.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, they're putting out a casting call for a third Godwin. I don't know if I can turn that money down. They talked to Hammer and Hank Aaron, of course, who's there, and he's. They ask him who he thinks is going to win the main event, and he's essentially like, "I like both guys. I'm everybody buys shoes," and so Heenan calls him.
You think I watch this stuff? I'm Hammer and Hank.
I have the record for the most home runs. I don't know if you know.
You think I know who Bunkhouse Buck is? You son of a bitch.
And so he says he's rooting for both guys, and then Heenan calls him a so-so hitter after he leaves, which is pretty good. Yeah. We get a backstage promo with Ric Flair and Sherry, and I'm going to say this. This is controversial, and this is controversial because I'm the wrestling guy. You're a wrestling guy on this show.
You're the wrestling guy, though.
Yeah, but it's funny in any other group of friends that you're in that doesn't involve me being there. You're the wrestling guy.
I'm you.
Yeah.
Like, you know how many people are like huge wrestling fans, and they talk to me about wrestling. And I'm like, oh, you don't know shit about wrestling. You don't know. You don't know Mad Dog Siobhan. You know what I mean? Like
they don't know there's another level out there. You're the apex. You're at Apex Mountain on their thing. But like, I'm going to say this as the wrestling guy on this show. I remember
Mad Dog Vachon. I knew I got that wrong. Yeah. Fuck. Oh. Listen, I found it. It.
But here's the thing. Those people will never know. No. They don't know how to say Vachon.
Most of the humanoids listening to this podcast didn't know. If you did, leave a comment.
I recall Ric Flair being a very, very good promo.
Yeah.
The more of these things we watch from the 90s, the less assured I am at how good of a promo Ric Flair is. Because, like, there used to be, it felt like to me, peaks and valleys and ups and downs. And you're, you know, it's like a song. You're moving through the song. This is Ric Flair talking about there being dignitaries and a line out the door and all of these things, and they're here to see him and they're not here to see Hogan. So that's like, the content of it is okay. I think you could maybe get up a little bit more for the dream match of the century against Hogan, but he is at full Macho Man just watch Liz get kissed by Ric Flair level from the start. And I was immediately like, oh no, like it turned me off completely to this promo.
I tend to agree. I think it's a little bit of Babe Ruth wouldn't hit a Aroldis Chapman situation where it's like, I don't know how many guys were really doing these, because if you watch any promos from before this of almost anybody, they're just screaming.
Yeah.
And so it might be a little bit of he was the best of the screamer guys, but and there have been Ric Flair promos that I thought were, because there were certain times where screaming when he's got all the blood on his face.
Yeah.
And like
at WrestleMania 8 when he's like the nucleus after he loses. Yeah. I just remember, and maybe it was like, he used to also be funnier, you know, cause like in the 80s, you know, that one of the most quoted promos, you know, his shoes cost more than your house. That's funny. I got a big house on the big side of town. Really good. And this is just, I don't know if he's like waving the white flag here or if it's just a shift in my preferences, but I did not find this to be, and I thought, man, he really, like, there's a lot of meat on this bone. I did not find that he cut a very compelling promo for this match. That's it.
That's fair.
You know, and not all of them are going to be 10s, obviously.
And once again, and listen, I might step on my own point before, because Dusty Rhodes wasn't a screamer promo guy all the time.
Right.
He got amped, but a lot of the times he was just talking. And I think I haven't seen everybody. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know if I've seen a superstar Billy Graham promo from back in the day. So I haven't seen the whole gambit. But Dusty Rhodes, for my money, is probably the best in the older territory era. But even Dusty, I've seen promos of Dusty Rhodes. I was like, all right, you know. But I think it happens to everybody.
We remember the hand. You put your hand on my hand.
Yeah.
You know, computer took your job, Daddy. We don't, you know.
Oh man.
So up next for the United States title, we got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat taking on Stunning Steve Austin. We have Randy Anderson as our referee, a mullet number 3 competitor in the tournament. Forgot to say Johnny B. Bad is number 2.
Oh, so
national anthem, Johnny B. Bad, Randy Anderson so far. Yeah. Those are our guys.
And Nick Patrick has a mullet, but I will never vote for Nick Patrick
right.
Unless there's a 2-time-an-ass worst referee, dumbest way to count to 3 ass piece of shit
would
award.
Probably DDT you in a tag team match ass referee. Ricky Steamboat does come out doing with the wings, and he does the fire. I was bummed because they have his sort of his traditional theme, which is kind of the mystical one, and not the He's a Family Man theme song, which makes me laugh quite a bit.
The Family Man one is funny. So
He loves his wife and kids because he's a family man. It's like, I'm supposed to care that this guy's going to wrestle Stunning Steve Austin right now?
I got a picture of Stunning Steve Austin backstage before the show, and I think he looks good in this era.
Oh,
Stunning Steve does look like Brad Taylor quite a bit.
Yeah, well, the hair. This is like he's cut it from being long, and it's kind of in a weird spot because he hasn't buzzed it yet, but he's got the '90s kind of the Zachary Ty Bryan.
It's not exactly because it's not a mid part, but. All I could think of was Zachary Ty Bryan the entire time. So
I was watching something the other day. Sarah and I were watching a show. Oh, it was an X-Files episode. And there was a guy on it. And I was like, who is this dude? I know who this guy is. And I looked up his IMDb. He was Tim Allen's friend from Home Improvement, Marty.
Marty. I know Marty.
It was like in 30 episodes or whatever. I was like, who is this dude?
I think, wasn't he always asking to borrow money? Wasn't that his gimmick?
No, I think there's an episode where he comes over to borrow money. Maybe he wasn't always borrowing money. I think
no, this is a different guy. I was thinking of, I don't know his name, like Benny or something like that. He always saw him at the hardware store and he was always Marty. Okay. Yeah. I would have, the same thing would have happened to me. I would not have known where I knew this guy from, but he was a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Here's Marty. I got Marty for you. That's Marty.
There he
I think the other guy's name is Benny. I'll look that up too for no reason.
There might be he's got a few storylines. Benny is like the shorter guy, I think.
It is Benny. Benny. I nailed it. Thank God. I think he was always asking to borrow money though. Or something like that. He was always asking for a favor. Or he was always like,
sounds like
tell us in the comments.
Yeah, sounds like a rewatch of Home Improvements in order. Put that on.
That's
the Patreon.
Benny.
Yeah, that's the guy I was thinking of.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Austin has a Dragon Slayer on the back of his tights in white, like bold font.
Shout out to Coach from Survivor, by the way. Nobody, only one person will know that listening to this. Coach from Survivor is the Dragon Slayer.
Okay. Doesn't mean anything to me. But what does mean something to me is watching Ricky Steamboat wrestle. This is the other side of the coin where it's like Ricky Steamboat looks like not a real athlete because they are real like it looks fluid. He looks like a gymnast almost. Like the way that he wrestles is very like smooth and kind of he makes it look easy even though what he's doing is not easy. That makes sense.
I completely agree with you, but also speaking of gymnast, we had a gratuitous walking of the ropes sin that me. He's got Stunning Steve's hand, and Stunning Steve is begging him not to do what he's about to do.
Oh, please don't karate chop my arm. You're
please.
You're going to go ahead and karate chop my arm, aren't you?
I know what you're fixing to do, you son of a bitch.
I need that arm to whip your ass.
He walks from fucking turnbuckle to turnbuckle on the ropes with Stunning Steve begging off and not just yanking that fucking guy off the top rope or even pushing him or kick his foot or sneeze in his general fart in his general direction.
Trying to do something to him. Kick the rope,
anything.
Yeah.
You're the Dragon Slayer.
Austin in this match also, like, this is, of course, I mean, Stone Cold, we're talking a top shelf character and like one of the best to ever do it. Stunning Steve, man, I love cowardly heel Stunning Steve Austin. He sells tremendously. Like he's also still got a little bit of the Texas rattlesnake stuff in him. Like
he gets mean.
Yeah, but like I love the way Steve Austin sells, particularly in WCW as a heel. There's a part in the match where Steamboat's in control and Bobby Heenan on commentary. He just goes, I don't really like Ricky Steamboat. He's a great athlete, but I don't like him. It looks like they mess up an inverted atomic drop, like Steamboat's on one side of the ring coming forward and Austin's coming off the other rope, and it looks like Steamboat's supposed to catch him and hit him with this atomic drop, but they like mistime it, and then it looks like Steamboat really does knee Austin just right in the nards.
That's how you create a Stone Cold.
That's tough. I mean? Yeah, he's thinking back on that every single night. Austin takes over.
Ricky Steamboat.
Austin takes over for a long time, which is not uncommon in Ricky Steamboat matches. Steamboat also a great seller. We've talked about this before. Steamboat looks like he's dying whenever he gets hit with something. He like the way he flops over whenever he gets hit with a clothesline or something. Really, really good.
And he vocalizes, like you can hear him. You know that video that we made fun of where he's trying to talk.
Yeah. You mean after his throat was crushed by one Macho Man Randy Savage? Yeah.
I hit him with the bell and went to Fuddruckers. But you can hear him go a bunch of times in this match.
The other key thing in this match is that Austin later, whenever Steamboat's in control towards the end, is trying to constantly get disqualified, which I found to be very funny and a really good heel tactic. Like,
and
go ahead.
You're good. Go ahead.
He tries to throw Steamboat over the top rope in front of the referee, which is a selective disqualification in WCW, but it might have counted for this one. And then he tries to pull the ref in front of Steamboat, and Steamboat has to beg the referee not to disqualify him so he could try to win the title. Thought really, really nice little added thing there.
Yeah, and he keeps faking a knee injury. And there's a part where he hits the ground. He like tries to run the ropes or something, and he collapses, and he hits the ground. He's grabbing his knee, and he's literally pointing at his knee so the crowd sees that his knees hurt. And when he does that, Bobby the Brain suggests that Stunning Steve Austin deserves like a 20-minute break.
He deserves a timeout. They do like a back and forth tombstone setup thing where Austin picks Steamboat up for the tombstone, and then Steamboat like flips him, and then Austin flips him back, and then Steamboat...
I call that the Oompa Loompa spot, because during I think I might be imagining.
No, I think you're right.
I think they do it during the Oompa Loompa song. Yeah. They hug each other. They like Flying 69 and then do a walk. With what they're doing. Anyway,
that's and I just every time I see that, I just imagine both guys going whoop, like no.
Yeah,
and then
I'm gonna be too low in a couple of years with that chicken shit Owen Hart.
What kind of clairvoyant? He has a clairvoyant vision of himself 3 years from now. I will say that Steamboat hits a very gentle looking tombstone onto Steve Austin.
He's a family man.
Yeah. And then into the match comes when Steamboat hits a crossbody. Austin rolls through and gets his feet on the ropes, and Austin gets the pin and retains the title. 20 minutes and 6 seconds, 3.75 stars. Thought it was a really good match. These guys had wrestled each other a lot, had really good chemistry. Enjoyed this match.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and one of my favorite parts towards the end. Just one more thing, there was a false finish or a close 2 count late with Stunning Steve was gonna lose, and Bobby Heenan was like he was so scared that his guy was gonna lose he couldn't say words. Shivani points out, I was like, what'd you say? He's like, oh, no. Like he couldn't talk.
I think Bobby Heenan gets a lot of flack for not having his A game in WCW. I thought he was really good on this show. He was really funny.
Dude, he was very good on this show. He had a lot of really good lines. Does this go into the Mean Gene interview?
Yes, this goes into the Mean Gene interview. We go backstage because we got it. Mean Gene is an intrepid reporter. He's got to get this exclusive with Arn Anderson.
And the thing is, there's one thing that I love about Mean Gene is you believe that he's disgusted and he wants these people to answer for their actions.
He's incredulous. He's like, I can't believe this. They're having just a fun hootenanny backstage.
They're getting after it.
Yeah. The stud stable is, they work hard, they play hard. Robert Parker cuts a promo, and he didn't miss his calling because he's good here. He should have played a cartoon villain in some local syndicated thing in Tennessee he could have been for years. just a really ornery alligator or some kind of possum, some kind of fancy cartoon possum. He's got the voice for it.
The ornery alligator is great.
Yeah, he's like, because it's almost Foghorn Leghorn, but of course he couldn't, because he's got like the I say I paid Arn Anderson. Yeah, he does. He is quite the declare. And so he cuts a little bit of promo, and then they go to Arn, and it's so funny to me because Arn Anderson, look at what a fun time Bunkhouse Buck is having.
Look at these fucking guys. I'm finally on top. Yeah. I was in the best fucking match of this show, man. Yeah. I'm almost afraid to ask you what the star rating for the Bunkhouse Buck match was.
It was 3 stars.
3 star. Okay. All right. You son of a bitch.
Pretty good. Arn Anderson is trying to cut a real serious promo about his motivations for turning on Dustin Rhodes, and Arn Anderson, hell of a promo, like a hell of an orator. And while that's happening, these fucking deviants just will not stop yelling and hooting, and they pour champagne on Arn Anderson when he's clearly not expecting it, and it goes right in his eyes, and he's like, son of a bitch. And then he can't cut the rest of it, because it's like, you asked the Scorpion to be your partner, and what do you expect the Scorpion to do is essentially the gist of this promo.
Well, and it's like, look at Terry Funk in the back, like acting like he's seriously listening to what's happening here.
Oh, I'm actually interested in what are your motivations?
And then he just starts pouring so much champagne on his head. I don't want to. Terry Funk thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And Arn takes his glasses off, wipes the champagne out of his eyes, because if you guys have ever seen like a team that won the championship, now they wear ski goggles during the champagne party, because getting champagne in your eyes burns like shit. Apparently, I've never had it happen. Unfortunately, it's a. As soon as we get a Patreon, we're gonna do a champagne bath. And Arn, so he rubs it off of his eyes, and he goes back to finish the promo, and they're still pouring it on top of his head. And
he's talking about like lessons that he's learned from the previous year when he was in the hospital, nearly dying.
Me and my friend got beat half to death.
Yeah. Well, he notes in England, he does, like, no one really knows about it because he's doing it in kayfabe, but he's talking about he got in a fight with Sid Vicious in a bar, and Sid Vicious stabbed him with scissors and nearly killed him. And so he's like, that taught me to put myself first, if I'm doing this, it's for the money, it is for the fame, and I don't give a shit about friendship. And the whole time these guys are like, woo! They're just fucking pouring champagne on his head.
And he's trying not to sell it so bad. Like, he's blinking really hard, and then as soon as he looks away, he makes this like, oh, it sucks face. And Terry Funk, once again, thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. Terry Funk's probably got champagne in his eyes right now in this screenshot that I've got on the screen. But and then at the end, Mean Gene, the interview ends, and there's ladies, obviously, because they got girls. They got girls.
Of course. You think the stud stable's not going to bring girls to bash at the beach?
He looks over, and the right before the camera cuts it, Mean Gene goes, "Ladies, you should be ashamed of yourselves."
Yeah, I think he says a couple of pretty women like you hanging out with these guys or whatever. Up next for the tag team titles is the team of Pretty Wonderful, which is Pretty Paul Roma and Paul Orndorff, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff, obviously, taking on the team of Cactus Jack and Kevin Sullivan, who are the tag team champions. And they have Kevin Sullivan's kayfabe brother, Dave Sullivan, in their corner. This match nearly killed me, dude. Yeah. This match stinks. And it's terrible because like 3 of the 4 dudes in this match are really good. Paul Roma stinks, but like Paul Orndorff, Cactus Jack, and Kevin Sullivan, those dudes on differing scales are very good pro wrestlers. And I just kept watching this match going, I can't believe how long this match is taking.
Yeah, I watched it, but I mean, this was the scrolling through my phone. This is when I noticed, by the way, during this match is when I noticed that Suzanne Summers is front center.
Oh shit!
In this thing, and at first I was like, "Oh, that lady right there looks like Suzanne Summers." It was a Frankie from American Pickers situation, but then they cut to this, and I can't remember who the other celebrity is that's near Suzanne Summers. Another very famous person, and I can't remember who it is. But they cut to it, and Suzanne Summers is in the background, and I was like, "Oh." It is Suzanne Summers.
Hey.
That was the only revelation that I had during this match.
They announced Kevin Sullivan as being from formerly Singapore, now residing in Daytona Beach, Florida. What a move for Kevin Sullivan. I assume when he's a heel, he's from Singapore, and when he's a babyface, he's from Florida.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Of course, Paul Roma is the other guy in this show that looks like he should be like one of the background characters in The Sopranos. I assume that's who that mobster is there to talk about. It's like,
and somebody had a sign.
Go ahead. You don't win the tag team titles tonight, I'm breaking both of your legs.
Somebody had a sign that just said Paula.
Yeah,
it's like just call him a girl. That's the girl version of Paul.
Yeah, that's what they used to chant at Paul Orndorff. So I think they're doubling up.
Oh, really?
On it, yeah. It's incredible that this match has Mick Foley, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, in it, and I can't find anything to say about this match that Mick Foley did that I enjoyed. This match is so boring. The wave breaks out in the middle of it,
and they talk about it extensively. Like they spent some time on the wave, and during the wave, they cut to Hank Aaron not paying attention, having a conversation with the I think the guy who ran the network at the time or something like that. I can't remember who that guy is.
No, I hit 715, which broke the record, but I don't know if you know this. I then hit another 40 home runs. So pretty impressive.
Ultimately it was 755. Yeah. I don't think that'll ever be broken.
Pretty impressive. A guy'd have to take a lot of steroids to be able to break that as well. All I'm telling you. So his head would have to balloon up to a nearly cartoon level for this record to ever be broken.
Yeah, it's a lot, and I've been trying to find this other celebrity that they show at some point, but I can't find it. It's really bothering me that I can't remember who the other celebrity is, because it's somebody that I've seen at these shows before, and I think it's a woman, but I can't remember who it is. But that's neither here nor there. I felt like Cactus Jack felt like he traveled back in time to be in a wrestling match, because he felt like out of place in this match. Like, this guy's going to be in ECW soon, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and
so it just wasn't, this match sucked.
There's a point in this match in my notes where I wrote, Paul Orndorff hits a power driver on Kevin Sullivan. That is Paul Orndorff's finish. And I was like, here we go. Sullivan gets his foot on the rope. God damn it. There's so much more of this match left. At the end, Paul Roma trips Cactus Jack, and Paul Orndorff falls on top of him.
It's Reba.
Oh, of course.
I'm sorry, but I found her.
She just did the national anthem at WrestleMania 8, so of course she rides for her hitters. She might be on the list. I feel like Reba's
a WCW girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. She starred in Tremors, goes to Bash at the Beach '94. Those are two things.
There's Suzanne Summers, by the way.
Okay. Yeah.
There she is.
That's a friend of Hulk Hogan. They have the same, they use the same tanning bed.
Little Rascals came out in *94 too. That's probably why she's all over the place. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She's got to get out there, pump up them numbers.
Yeah.
So pretty wonderful win the tag team titles. 20 minutes and 11 seconds. This match was the death of me. 0.
It was 20 minutes long?
Yeah.
I did not pay attention to this match.
0.5 stars from the Wrestling Observer newsletter. This is a better summer for Paul Orndorff, or for Paul Roma, rather, because at the last Beach Blast they lost the tag team titles to they lost their tag team title match to the Hollywood Blondes. So this year he wins the tag titles. Last year he failed in his attempt to win the tag titles.
It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. Another famous Italian said that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Do you think Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Dude Love, Mankind ever had a dud?
There might be a dud in there.
There's probably a dud somewhere.
Yeah, but that's pretty low. Again, considering 3 of the 4 of these dudes are pretty good wrestlers. Right before the main event, Heenan is asked if he believes there's a possibility that Hulk Hogan could defeat Ric Flair. And Heenan goes, yeah, of course he could beat Flair, but I'll know that it was a fluke. It's a perfect line for him. No video package. Cool. Whatever. It's not the 2 biggest stars in your company wrestling for your title.
I've got Mankind versus Dwayne Gill in 1998 is a dud.
But that's for the gimmick. That is, of course, if you'll forget, at the Deadly Game.
It's a deadly game.
They gave Mankind like basically a bye by having him wrestle Dwayne Gill.
Okay. So, and then I've got Mankind versus Al Snow at Survivor Series 1998. Got a half star.
There we go. Oh, that's also from the Deadly Game, but that's a real match.
It's a deadly game. Oh yeah, it's the same show. Yeah, holy shit.
That's a bad night for Mick. There's like a cavalcade of people that come out. Nick Bockwinkel comes out. Shaq is here. Mr. T is here to run security for some reason. They hit American Made, which is Hulk Hogan's theme song for WCW. Pretty good song. Not as good as the
Real American.
The Real American, but also sounds a lot like Born to Be Wild. Real American. So if you're gonna rip one off, why not?
Rip off Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Isn't that Steppenwolf?
Yeah, it is Steppenwolf. Also Magic Carpet Ride. You want to hit him with a little bit of that?
Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Well, I did an episode. I did an episode about It was
Batman versus Superman. Yeah,
it was Batman versus Superman, the Snyder Cut, and we did I used to be on a movie podcast, and every single time anybody would say Steppenwolf, I would start singing that.
Because the villain of that film is Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
you don't know what we can fight. Well,
1994 peak time for Mr. T to be culturally relevant, and then they get Bruce Buffer out here, or Michael Buffer. Apologies to Bruce. And
watch your mouth.
He tries to draw a comparison of this match, the monumental nature of this match, to man's first flight to the moon. He's like, not far from Cape Canaveral, where the brave men also had an event, and then he does not know Buzz Aldrin's name. It's so funny. He's
because it's the 25th anniversary was in 1994 of us landing on the moon.
Oh, okay.
And so he's like, 25 years ago, we're going to be celebrating the anniversary this year. The 2 brave men, all that stuff. And he goes, Neil Armstrong and Buzz. And he looks down and thinks, Aldrin. Come on, dude. He landed on the fucking moon. He's one of the 2 guys that landed on the moon that any of us know their names.
Yeah. That's the Hogan's intro, because of course, you know, I love dissecting Michael Buffer's bullshit.
Yeah.
He is without a doubt one of the most well-known faces in the world, but tonight the magazine covers and movies must take a back seat after a 3-year layoff. Actually, only 1 year on pay-per-view. Here's the Hulkster. But hey, I don't need you to editorialize. I guess his whole job is editorializing, but it's like the magazine covers and movies have to take a back seat.
I love it, dude. I love the histrionics. Like I said, I love something that starts with since the beginning of time. You know, I love making a small thing seem really big. The other day, I was at a friend's house and we spent like 15 minutes watching entrances for darts competitions in Europe, because they get lit as fuck, and they go out and they sing. It's amazing. Also, we get another shot of this guy.
See, that's that guy's whole thing. He loves it.
They just kept showing that guy. They show him a lot, but I'm just going to show him once.
I think he's the winner, maybe, or maybe he's the only guy who dressed up. I don't know.
One time I had a comedy show that was it was at some shitball bar by the lake in Porterville, and it was on May 4th. So they said if you dress up like Star Wars, you get in free, and there were maybe like 25, 30 people there, and one person dressed up like Star Wars, and she did full Queen Amidala with the makeup on her face, and she looked like an idiot being the only person.
That's tough. That's and of course that only makes me think of Triumph the Insult comic dog outside of the Star Wars thing. If you have not seen that after you watch this podcast, go watch maybe the funniest goddamn thing that's ever happened in the world.
I can't remember the line. He says something about one of their moms having to give him a ride, and the way he worded it was so good. I shouldn't have even brought it up because I don't know the exact joke.
He's talking to a guy in a Darth Vader suit, and he's like, "What does all this stuff do?" And he's like, "This is my breathing apparatus. It keeps me alive." And he goes, "Cool. Which one of these calls your mom to pick you up?" Just fucking in the dirt, dude. He just kills that guy. And the other really funny one is he's doing a trivia contest, and he goes, "What substance was Han Solo frozen in?" And of course everybody in the line yells out, "Carbonite." And he goes, "No, I'm sorry, the answer is who gives a shit." just devastating. Ric Flair's introduction is one of the all-time greats in professional wrestling, doing what he has done his entire career, meeting all obstacles and accepting all challenges, proving again and again he is one of the all-time greats. He's a man who does things, and then he does those things, and then he does them well, is the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Plus, he's a rock star.
They couldn't put that in.
I'm a rock star.
I like at the beginning of this match, they show one guy in the crowd who's got a really tiny sign that says 11-time world champ on it. No. I don't want to block someone else's view. I hate when that happens. I do want to let them know that I'm throwing my support behind Ric Flair.
Respect to that guy, bro. And dude, look at Mr. T, dog. Like, when there's remember when Deontay Wilder walked to the ring against Tyson Fury and he wore the big ass mask, and then he said that he lost because the mask was so heavy.
He was too tired
on the way to the ring. Mr. T's gonna have Ford neck syndrome after this because he's got the biggest chain I've ever seen in my life on him. How long after this did the well run dry and he sold that chain?
Dude, I'm surprised there's that chain now. I think Mr. T was outside of his cultural window of relevance in 1994.
That might be true.
Also, to put this into at the risk of running down a rabbit hole, put this in context. This is 1 month after the Bronco chase. June 1994 Bronco chase.
Oh wow! What a world we were in at that time.
What a time!
I can't believe everybody's there.
Yeah, they aren't ordering Domino's, waiting by the phone. I mean, I don't want to be unfair here. This match is Hulk Hogan's match. This is just, if you've seen a Hogan main event, this is kind of it. The thing that I will say though is the crowd is insane for all the stuff. Doesn't matter. They do the tie up. Hogan overpowers him, throws him in the corner. They do the test of strength. People are all in for the everything that Hogan does in this match is catnip to these fans. So he's not fully out yet. He still has some moves.
Dude, they popped so hard during his entrance, and it felt big. Like, Flair came in and it felt big because the challenger came out second in this match. Hulk Hogan came out second in this match, and the Shaq gave him a high five, and it was just like huge. And then everything he did in this match, and Flair did his job, man. Like, Flair kept they got outside the ring and twice, and Flair and Hogan was gonna go hit Flair, and Flair just grabbed Sherry and puts him in the middle. Yep. As a human shield, and the crowd hated that, and they both did their job in this match, man.
Yeah, I mean, again, not a knock. This is a Hulk Hogan match. He gets put in peril, and then he comes back, but he does it 2 or 3 times. So Hogan gets hit with a suplex by Flair after Flair had taken over on him, and then he no-sells the suplex, and Bobby Heenan in the crowd or on the commentary, when Flair hits the suplex, he's like, yes, yes, yeah. And as he's doing that, Hogan gets up and he goes, no.
Heenan does a really good job of putting Hulk over via his disdain.
Yeah.
And like there's a part where the first time the Hulk truly hulks up, Heenan's like, I don't like the look of this.
Yeah.
Like, he's just always like, you could tell he hates Hulk Hogan, but he knows that Hulk Hogan's like a good foe, which I think is the perfect way to be a heel announcer, especially in a match like this.
Hogan has clearly been studying some tape, because he pulls out a figure 4 leg lock, but he puts it on in the weirdest goddamn way I've ever seen someone do a figure 4. Mr. T grabs Sherry, who's been interfering in the match throughout, and gets rid of her. So now Flair in the last
she hit a splash.
Yeah, it was pretty good too.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, the legs hit first kind of weird, but like it was a better splash than I could probably throw if you just tell me to go out and throw a splash, you know?
In his last gasp, Sherry has thrown brass knuckles to Flair, who hits Hogan with him and then goes to pin him, and Hogan hulks up. And like you were saying with Bobby Heenan, when Hogan does the final hulk up, Heenan on commentary is like, "Oh no, I've seen this before."
Yeah,
this always happens. It's like
it never ends well when this happens.
He knows it's an inevitability. He's fighting the tide every time.
Yeah,
by cheering against Hogan. Hogan goes ahead and hits that big boot, hits that leg drop, and it's all wrapped up from there, baby. 21 minutes, 54 seconds. Flair does his job, looks at the lights, and we have the new WCW heavyweight champion, Hulk Hogan. This match got 3.25 stars. And then Michael Buffer, after the match, announces Hulk Hogan as the champion and then announces his height again. like that's part of it. Like, the new WCW champion, the 6'7"
yeah.
Hulk Hogan. Yeah, I thought that like this is exactly what people paid for, and this is exactly why they opened the purse strings for Hogan in WCW. This did the biggest gate in WCW history, I believe, at an arena show at that point, 14,000, and the biggest buy rate, 225,000 buys of all time that they had done up to that point.
And listen, we shit on the Dennis Rodman stuff because it got annoying, the Karl Malone stuff, and they got annoying. Bringing in Shaq in this moment for this match like felt big, and everybody loved Shaq. They popped hard for him. He didn't get in the way of anything. He walked into the ring. He waved at everybody. Yep. He obviously thought what was happening was cool. He high-fived Hulk Hogan, and then he gives Hulk Hogan the thing, raises his hand, and then they hug, and it goes to like the sparklies on the screen. Like, I just think everything was executed pretty well in this whole thing.
This was a very good presentation, and you had to figure you were getting a lot of new viewers on pay-per-view. So they put forth like a pretty good show. Like I talked about, the tag team title match, kind of a stinker, but like Steamboat versus Austin was really good. The tag match with the Stud Stable versus Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson was really good. Even the Steve Regal and Johnny B. Bad's not a bad match. So like you put on
there's a lot of fun there, and the Inoki thing was cool. Like, it was funny.
And you put on you put forth a good foot forward for new viewers that are probably not as familiar with your product, right? Because like the rest of WCW in '93, the Beach Blast, which is the equivalent of this, did 100,000 buys. Fall Brawl '93 did 95,000. Halloween Havoc did 100,000. Battle Bowl did 55,000. Tough for old Battle Bowl.
55,000 is tough.
And then right before this, the Slamboree show they did 105,000, and this is all the way up at 225. So you're talking about converting, if the I think the pay-per-views at this point are like $25. You're getting a whole new list of fans.
There's some Battle Bowl it had some people on it, man. Do you know what a significant thing about Battle Bowl? 93?
I believe that the winner of Battle Bowl '93 was the Great Muta.
We've got, I don't see the Great Muta on here. Am I looking at the wrong one? Because I've got Big Van Vader and Cactus Jack defeated Charlie Norris and Stevie Ray. Brian Knobbs and Johnny B. Bad defeated Eric Watson, Paul Roma. And then in third, this is what I was talking about, the Shockmaster.
Ah, yes.
And Paul Orndorff defeated Ricky Steamboat and Lord Steven Regal.
What a bad pick for your winner in that match. Can we have Steamboat and I know Steamboat and Regal were in a feud at that point, so it's probably partners who can't get along shit, but it's like the Shockmaster and Paul Orndorff, is that who it was?
The Shockmaster and Paul Orndorff
are probably not the guys you want back coming back for the second part of the show. Who wins Battle Bowl then?
Big Van Vader.
Oh, Vader wins Battle Bowl. Okay.
Yeah. You also had Ric Flair and Steve Austin.
The one we watched is the one that Muta wins.
Muta wins. Okay.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
I don't want to go through the whole thing. Rick Rude and Shanghai Pierce defeated Tex Slazenger and Marcus Bagwell. Which you got Buff. He's the stuff.
You would not know this, but Tex Slazenger and Shanghai Pierce are the Godwins.
Oh, fuck.
So
you got Ric Flair and Steve Austin defeating Too Cold Scorpio and Max Payne.
But that was pretty good. Austin and Flair as a tag team in '93 is pretty fun. I bet. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah. I bet that is fun. Sting and Jerry Saggs with beating Ron Simmons and Keith Cole. Jerry Saggs of the Nasty Boys. Nasty Boys. Hell yeah.
Look at me, dude. Look at me. Brian Knobbs. So they split up so did they just like?
Oh, it's a random draw. Remember, that's what Battle Bowl's deal is. And so that's probably why it sold so few pay-per-views, because you can't promote a goddamn match in this thing because it's all based on supposedly a random draw. So
yeah, it's like Road Warrior Hawk and Rip Rogers defeating Davey Boy Smith and Cole. Was King Kong and Awesome Kong a tag team?
They were a tag team, yes.
Okay. Awesome Kong is a pretty sick name.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress.
So after this, there's like some time left on the pay-per-view, apparently. So they just keep making Bobby Heenan watch Flair getting beat by Hogan. And Shivani's like, do you have anything to say about it? And he goes, I already said whatever I'm going to say.
Yeah. He gave him the Jesse Ventura treatment.
Yeah. And
I told you, Flair.
they find Hacksaw Jim Duggan backstage with no shirt on. And I don't remember if he works for WCW at this point. I would also buy that he's part of Terry Funk's party backstage.
Oh, dude. Imagine partying with Terry Funk, Bunkhouse Buck, Arn Anderson, and fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Hacksaw Duggan, hell yeah.
That is a dream blunt rotation for me. That is...
Talk about a Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
Bobby Heenan says this is the greatest event he's ever been part of. I would like to remind him that he was in the main event of WrestleMania 3, but maybe that doesn't hold as much significance.
Listen, Vince ain't signing his checks
ain't
no
writing
more.
Them checks no more, yeah. And of course, Brutus Beefcake is there. He's of course Brother Brutus is backstage as well.
Hey, that's actually I thought that's the twist. The third person in the Rides for His Hitters Hall of Fame was going to be Arn Anderson, but he's a bastard. I forgot that he's a bastard. It is Brutus the Barber Beefcake. That dude rides for Hulk Hogan. Yeah. So I think those are the three so far.
Well, I don't know that he so much rides for Hogan as Hogan is his meal ticket, right? Is there a difference in... Because, like, of course he's coming to Hogan's defense, but it's like, because that's how Beefcake's going to make his money.
That's fair, but I feel like he truly loves Hulk Hogan, bro.
It's not the same as like Savage. I think there's a purity of like we're on the team. We're on the team. Yeah, we're on the team, brother. Like, once I sign up to be on your team, I'm on your fucking team, dude. And same thing with Piper. I think Beefcake is on your team, but he will also DDT you if necessary to get on a better team.
Do you think he would have DDT'd Hogan though eventually at some point?
It's tough to be on a better team than Holtz.
He was a disciple, bro.
Yeah, if you're talking about an easy way to make a buck, tougher team to be, tougher team to find than Hogan's. I feel like so. Briefly, and just ever so briefly, I want to talk about Hogan's deal in 1994. Essentially, they offer Hulk Hogan $2 million flat to come to WCW to do, I believe it's basically 4 pay-per-views a year and some satellite TVs surrounding those to build the matches up. So that's, I mean, and he gets to make his own merchandise and outside licensing deals that are then, like, later on you figure out the details to that, but just for the wrestling part. And then if his buy rate,
that's equivalent to $4.3 million today, by the way, the $2 million.
If he it included revenue sharing triggers if the pay-per-view buy rates or overall event revenue exceeded historical company averages. So I'm imagining the Hulkster's making out here. He's getting back in points too.
He probably did pretty well. I wonder how much money Hulk Hogan died with, like a net worth situation.
Well, really bad divorce. So
that is true. Really bad. Substantially bad divorce.
Yeah.
And he made a lot of 1980s, 1990s money, which was good money, but it wasn't. It says what I'm seeing on celebritynetworth.com, which is very frequently super wrong.
Yeah.
So this is just, conjecture, but $25 million is what I'm seeing. So you at least double that with the divorce, $50 million.
Right.
He spent, I heard, $100 million on back surgeries. So we're at $150 million. He had to dye the beard. That's probably another $50 million.
That's a just for men's every couple days.
Yeah.
I assume the same thing that I assume for a lot of, like, because I think Hogan's the only dude that had a guaranteed deal when WWE was running hot. I'm assuming he was making millions of dollars during the Rock and Wrestling run. I'm sure he was bringing in, $2-3 million a year, but he was also working to death,
Yeah.
And then you factor in some outside stuff. I don't know that he was very good with money. Surprise, surprise. A wrestler bad with
remember
his money.
that episode of his reality show where he drives his boat to look at his old house? Yeah. He's crying. That legitimately, genuinely made me feel bad for the man. Like, well, it sucked.
I know that he essentially took the job in TNA. Bischoff brokered that for him because he was broke. And I don't know that Hulk Hogan's broke is the same as my broke.
It's not the same.
Right.
No, there's no way. But
I'm talking, when I'm broke, that's zeros in the bank account. But if you're Hulk Hogan broke, I'm assuming I cannot maintain the lifestyle that Hulk Hogan, have grown accustomed to. So, but like, he did pay for, like, this deal is a good deal for WCW. It's instant credibility. They have the biggest star in wrestling. They sell 100,000 more pay-per-views on the first event than they did the previous month, just because of Hogan. So, like, it's a good deal. Hogan's making out ahead in some of this, but it does seriously legitimize WCW, and give them the start of a leg up on WWF at the time. So
yeah, man. Listen, sometimes you got to make a splash like that. Like, Eric Bischoff didn't only make bad decisions. I think he made a few, like, pretty big decisions, and I think like he just had 3 good ideas that he tried to hit the repeat button on over and over again, and he couldn't really get outside of that box in a lot of ways. And he did a lot of weird booking stuff, and, like, we've talked about that for tens of hours, and we'll continue to talk about it. But bringing in Hulk Hogan's a big thing, and doing Hogan versus Flair. So
yeah, and again, turns out when you hire a guy whose main thing is not being a wrestling guy, that's some of the stuff you're going to get, unfortunately.
Vince Russo.
So I wanted to do this show because I wanted to get a mostly snapshot of WCW before Hogan. This is the pure WCW, because Hogan's just coming in, so his influence has not quite hit as of yet, right? But next week we are going to also cover Halloween Havoc 94, which is Hogan versus Flair in a cage for Ric Flair's career if Flair loses. So, and this is a few months later. They've seen the success of Hogan. Does that change the presentation of WCW? Only we will find out later on.
I'm excited for that. I love watching because it's so funny because we've spent so much time on this era, like these 8 years of WCW, like this to like 2001, right? Like 93 to 2001. And we still haven't done everything. And this includes 2 iterations of our podcast, so much time. Like there's always something else to talk about, which is why this is one of our favorite eras to go back to. So
yeah, and it's, you know, there's always doing the deep dives. I really enjoy watching the whole shows. I enjoy for a different reason, which is like you'll find the gem of Terry Funk and Bunkhouse Buck versus Dustin Rhodes and Arn Anderson, because that's probably not getting covered in our regular scope of what the podcast does. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because
I'm so glad I watched that match.
It's not the best Terry Funk match. It's not the best Dustin Rhodes match. It's not the best Arn Anderson thing, you know. So like, but it was incredibly enjoyable and a lot of fun. And so we'll see next week, Halloween Havoc 1994. Hey, who do you think has to lose this retirement match, Andrew?
Listen, I'm never, ever, ever, ever going to guess that Ric Flair beats Hulk Hogan in a professional wrestling match. So normally you would think the greatest guy in the world, I mean, the Mount Rushmore wrestler in a retirement match, he's going to win that. But that is completely negated by the fact that it is the retiring guy is Ric Flair and his foe is Hulk Hogan. So I'm thinking Hulk Hogan probably wins that match, but we'll see. Because I know Flair at some point he did beat Hulk multiple times. So we'll see.
Gotta know. All right. Bye, everybody. Love you.
Love you.